This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Today we're here at Chambers Bay in University Place, Washington. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all of the action. Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
We've got a big golf course in front of us today. Robert Trent Jones II designed this golf course really to fit in with these marvelous surroundings. But consequently, we have like what I would call almost an inland links. It's going to play like that. Ideally, you'd like to play this golf course through the air, but it's very exposed to the elements.
So we're ready to get the round going here at Chambers Bay, and we'll begin, Frank, at the first with a par 4.
496 yards, obviously that'll stretch anybody out there. That bunker down the right is very much in play. The fairway does narrow out too, just short of that. So this really is going to require one of your best tee shots. Semi-blind second shot, a relatively big green.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. This shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
All right, Frank, how would you break down this approach shot here at the first at Chambers Bay?
Well, Richard's partially blind, so you've really got to fixate on the exact point that you want to aim at. That's one of the beauties of this golf course. So maybe even just have a little look and make sure you know that line, because once that ball hits the ground, the natural contours are going to take it in a certain direction. So really fixate on that line.
Ready for his third shot. Needs to hit this close. Solid play, heart of the green. Poulter now, third shot. Settles in over the putt. What a putt. Just missed, Frank.
That's cruel.
Poulter steady and ready for a par. That's not how you picture it, Frank, when you step on that first tee.
No, you'd like to go back to that first tee right now and start again.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. +1 in the early going. Putt drops. Now at 1 over par. Now to the second hole here at Chambers Bay, and Frank, it is not overly long. Where's the trouble here?
Well, 281 yards really to the big long bunker that goes all the way to the green. So as long as you can avoid that, you don't have to hit driver down here, just something that's going to be a little short of that. You're still only going to have 100 yards really, or just over 100 yards in for your second shot. A really good chance too to get off to a good start.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Birdie attempt coming up for Ian. Missed the fairway in the fairway bunker now.
It's not all gloom and doom, though. Lip isn't too high. A good swing here still shouldn't be a problem.
Ian Poulter getting ready to putt. Well, you could see he thought he had that.
It looked in the whole way until the end.
And getting ready for the putt. Oh, what a putt from long distance, bottom of the barrel. One over for the day. At the third tee now, Frank, and what are we staring at here?
This green is anything other than symmetrical, so be very, very cautious on where the flag is. Anything in the middle of the green you can putt to the corners, well, if you can call them corners, more like ragtails, but beautiful par 3.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. And about 210 yards to the flagstick here on this par 3. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. It just, you feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
Frank, he might like this one. He might like, oh, he's gonna love it, Frank. 1 under early in the round. Needs this for par. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, here on the 4th tee, you get a good look, don't you, at what Chambers Bay really is all about.
It's framed beautifully, Rich, by the bunkers there, left, short, off the tee, plus the ones down the right side. You can see everything in front of you, but the hole does bend to the right. This is another one where you've got a generous fairway, but don't be fooled by that. It's fairway first.
Tough par 4 measuring 495 yards. Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. This, the second shot here at the par 4. Headed for the bunker, I think. Well, he'd like to have that one back in the bunker.
Still a chance to get it up and down.
From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. Here we go. That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. You know how to play this shot, Frank, right? You keep your chin up, you look down your nose at the ball, you have to pick it cleanly, and keep your head still. Getting set now over the putt. Oh, you can see the frustration. Almost kicked his putter head right there with a drop shot here at the 4th.
Now it's at sneaky distance.
Beautiful touch. Nice putt. Martin Kaymer must make this for bogey. Blemish on the scorecard. A bogey. Frank, it's kind of fun to swing away on an elevated tee like this, the 5th here at Chambers Bay.
It looks straight away. It certainly does. And under 500 yards, so it gives you a chance, plus that elevation. You should be able to knock one down there. The whole pinch is in, though, with those bunkers left and right, and there's just one bunker in the front of this green, and that, as you can guess, should be avoided.
Be careful. They call this hole free fall. He just blasted that one down the fairway, out there about 325 yards. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
And second shot. Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Now the approach shot here at the 5th hole at Chambers Bay, and how difficult is this?
Well, it looks straightforward, but the second shot, once again, just semi-blind. You've got to be very aware of that little central bunker that's just short of the green, because you're either going to have to go over it or around it.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Makes the putt and goes to 1 under.
Even par, currently.
Now at 1 under for the round. Frank, now at the 6th, this appears to be a testing par 4 long one.
It is, but once again, a generous fairway. Just use those mounds down the left as an indicator on your line. Hole bends a little bit to the right. Good tee shot, though, and everything is in front of you. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball.
Remember, out of the rough, expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, actually a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par. Second shot.
Third shot, Martin Kaymer. Good-looking shot right here. That is another laser right at the flagstick. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Settles in over the putt. Wow, almost fell within just a few inches of dropping. Here's the 2014 U.S. Open champion, eyeing this one for par. Nice par to remain 1 under. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Drops it, and he's at even par. On the 7th tee now, it is over 500 yards from the back tee.
Yeah, this is called humpback, and you can see why there's all those mounds and undulations between you and the hole, plus all that amazing bunkering down the right side. All to be avoided, really. If you can do that, then you get a decent look at this green. But yeah, you've mentioned it, 500 plus yards. It's going to play longer than that uphill. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Now the approach shot here at the 7th, Frank, and this one is up the hill.
It is, and the green is sort of split into thirds. There's a little piece back left, there's a piece back right, and that bigger portion in the front. So once again, you've got to choose what shot am I trying to hit, and do I have the right club?
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now he'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Now his third, staring right at the green. Inside 20 feet, never bad.
Yeah, 18 feet to be exact.
Here's one of the game's great players, a major champion, a players' champ. Martin Kaymer ready with his approach. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Frank, that's just a really good putt right there.
Yeah, that's why you call lag putting. You get outside a certain distance and really your mind has to be about two putting and not trying to be a hero.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Just misses. That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. So with that, the score is now at even par. This for him would be 1 drop shot. In for a bogey. Now to the 8th and a long par 5, Frank.
Fortunately, there's no bunkers, just the dunes either side. The hole looks a little narrow off the tee, but get down there, you're going to realize that's a fairly generous fairway. There's a little bit of mounding in this green, too, that actually slopes it back towards the player. So use that to your advantage. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank, it's a nice walk to make down the fairway when you can see your golf ball right there in the middle.
Rich, there's an old saying, fairway first. And there's another example. Hit it in the fairway, and the game becomes very straightforward.
Just a beautiful tee shot. Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. Going to need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot.
Normally you'd say it's a bad tee shot, but this is a pattern, Rich.
Frank, it's a hard game to play from the high grass.
And that's where he's been more often than not today.
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Poulter now, third shot. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Birdie attempt coming up for Ian. Getting set from 145 yards away. Frank, more than a decade ago, this had to seem like such a long shot to host a U.S. Open on a site that was previously a sand and gravel mine.
Yeah, it's unheard of for the USGA to go to a golf course that, it was built in 2007. Normally we think a great golf course has got to be 100 plus years of age, but this is where we're proved wrong. Chambers Bay is a golf course, number one, that anybody can play. It's a walking golf course, number two. That's really what the USGA stands for. So this is a golf course that's going to host what is the toughest test in professional golf, and also host you and me just playing around for a little hit and giggle. Very few golf courses can do that.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. You've got to be kidding me. That was right on the edge.
I tell you, he wants a do-over there.
Kaymer attempting this for par. Sinks it.
Unbelievable.
Frank, do you buy the old adage, drive for show, putt for dough?
Oh, putting's the great equalizer, Rich.
Did the job right there. Really good mix of holes here at Chambers Bay. And Frank, we finished this front side with a par 3 after just having come off that long par 5.
And it's a beauty, too. The tee is some 100 feet up in the air, so you get a great view of this magnificent golf course, and you realize why it's called a true links. This green here, though, it looks rather daunting, well bunkered on the right side, but you can see enough of it. And once again, links, use the bounce, and you can still kick one in there close.
Could use this one. This is for par. Well, you can see the golfer is just boiling right now after that miss and a drop shot here at the 9th. So a tester from 4 feet. So 2 over par for the round. Has the putt, and now at -1. Frank, what's the player looking at on the 10th here at Chambers Bay?
Well, normally at a par 4, you're just thinking blaze away, but this is one of the few holes, really, I think you've got to be careful on what club you hit off the tee. It starts to narrow up. You really want to avoid those 2 short bunkers that come in around the 300-yard mark. And that really sets yourself up with a nice sort of wedge. That's really the right way to play. You don't have to take the trouble on in front here.
Well, that is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
This one will play a little bit longer. It's up the hill to that green. Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. That one is well off target. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That is an excellent lag putt right there. Had the speed perfectly. Settles in over the putt. Beautiful roll on that one, right in the bottom. Just a little tap in here. And he makes it for a bogey here. Now on to the 11th, and Frank, we are looking at a long par 4 in front of us.
We are indeed, and it's called shadows, but there is love in the shadows here. Hit it over that dune down there in the middle of the fairway. If you can get it there around the 300-plus yard mark, then the hole obviously starts to get a little easier. That second shot, you'd like to hit a little bit of a cut in here, but there's 2 levels to this green, so make sure you're on the right level where that flag is.
They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here, because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball.
Well, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Not too bad, about 25 feet away. The 11th hole, Frank, what's the right way to get at it?
Just got to be cognizant of that ridge that cuts through the middle of this green that sort of turns this green into one simple green into all these little complex sort of sections. That's the biggest thing, but that's also, you realize very, very quickly, you're playing links golf today.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Oh, my goodness, Frank, that is painful.
Oh, yeah, that's the... You'd rather miss the hole at times, wouldn't you?
Getting set now over the putt. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Still even par for the day. The 12th here at Chambers Bay is known as the Narrows. What's the play here, Frank?
Two, really. You could just sort of iron it down there, have a little wedge or a pitch in there with no sweat whatsoever. Or, if you want to have a little bit of fun, if you can drive it over that bunker that's just short left of this green, you might just putt for an eagle.
Slight miss, and he'll have to deal with some of the heavy grass.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Always tough to get a decent flight out of the rough. And you could see that ball was never soaring out of that light.
Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact first and foremost that you're not going to get clean contact. So you have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club.
Safely aboard. Here's a birdie putt now for the 2014 U.S. Open champion, Martin Kaymer. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Sizable putt from 16 feet. Hard putt, soft hands, beautiful roll. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Drops it, and he's at even par. On to the 13th hole here at Chambers Bay. It's a par 4, and they call this one Eagle Eye.
Yeah, dogleg to the right, beefy par 4. You hit it down to one of the widest fairways on the golf course. And then up in front, if you look at the middle of the green, you're going to see one bunker. Needless to say, that's got to be avoided.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Now playing the second here at the par 4.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Somehow that managed to miss the bunker, Frank.
Yeah, that looked like it was sand for sure.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Poulter now third shot. Not too unhappy with that, Frank, at 17 feet.
No, from that distance, it's more than good.
Frank, a bunker in front of the green here. So how does that impact what the player's going to do?
Well, it's not just the bunker, too. It's the ridges left and right that are going to repel a shot. So if you go too far left of that bunker in front of the green or too far right, that ball's going to kick all the way off the green. So really, that bunker's a good line, but you've got to carry it. Well, just a little too much, Rich.
I don't know if it was wind at his back, he didn't calculate it, but he's going to be left with a difficult chip shot here. Locked in on the read and the speed. It happens sometimes, Frank. They don't all drop.
No, but you try telling him right now.
Poulter steady. This is for a par. Frank, we see it every single round. These kind of putts determine whether it's a good score or an average score.
Yeah, and just like that, a bogey. And does not feel like he deserves it.
Has this now for bogey. In for bogey, now sitting at 2 over for the round. Clean this up with a tap. So, 2 over par for the round. Frank, this is the 5th par 4 in a row, and they're not easy. This one here at 14, really a daunting tee shot.
It is. That's why it's called Cape Fair. A true Cape hole in golf, Rich, is when you've got to decide how much you want to bite off when you hit across a slight dogleg. And this one, really, you're going to be rewarded the further left you can go. There is one little bunker in the middle of the fairway that you have to avoid. That's going to be 320 or so yards off the tee. This hole, 546 yards, you're going to see a variety of second shots, or the length of second shots here, determined purely by the bravery of the tee shot.
What a drive. Just tattooed that.
Off the flight path again.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Second from an excellent lie. Birdie attempt coming up for Ian. All right, Frank, second shot.
Yeah, it looks like a good lie. Just take maybe half a club more than the distance allows. Still got to check the wind. Don't have to fly the ball all the way to the flag from here.
Given the choice, most players would rather play from the green grass versus the white sand.
Yeah, there was no advantage to try and take that much more out of that fairway bunker. Couldn't reach the green. It's a smart play.
Either misjudged the win or simply just pulled the wrong club, Frank.
Going to take some skill now.
This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Always 2 components to the long lag putt, the speed, number 1, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. This one just requires a little bit of focus. It's a good-looking putt right here. You might like it.
Normally you'd be happy to take two from there. What's one going to feel like? Great putt.
Did the job right there. At last, Frank, a break from those long par fours. We just played 5 par fours in a row. Now the par 3 15th.
And also, as you can see in the distance, you can actually see a tree, one of the few that are on the golf course. Hence the name of 15, it's called Lone Fir. Not overly long, just a little short hole. But in a US Open, obviously they can play it at around 250 yards. It's just a fun par 3. But check where that flag is, because sometimes 3 is a good score here. But an easy flag position, and then go straight at it.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot. This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Well, he'd like to have that one back in the bunker.
Still a chance to get it up and down.
This long putt for birdie could be a tough one here. Yeah, that's a good putt right there. From that distance, he'll settle. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know, it might just go in.
Looking to splash this softly onto the green. Martin Kaymer must make this for bogey.
Good read, good line, well played.
He has this attempt for par. Two over for the day. Now to the par 4, 423 yards, 16th hole. What's the right play, Frank?
Fairway first once again. You'll see the slope of the fairway from the left to the right side. It means move your aim down that left side. It'll make this fairway appear that much bigger. And of course, then when you hit into this green, you're really going to have to flight that second shot properly. This is like a tabletop green.
Headed for the bunker, I think. Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. Uh-oh, this one's going left, Frank. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. That one is in the bunker. Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, you just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
His second shot. Frank, way offline all day long.
Yeah, this is a head scratcher, really. Seen him play before. Normally much better than this. This is abnormal, that's for sure.
Routine stuff here, Frank, from the bunker?
You just got to be careful of that lip in front of him with his third shot coming up.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Oh, what an incredible shot. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just a couple of feet. That's a bogey. Just 2 holes left to play. Now a par 3, the 17th, 218 yards, and all sorts of trouble, Frank, down that right.
Well, if you weren't beached at the 16th, then there's a chance you can be derailed, which is what this hole's called, at 17. Difficult par 3. You can see the bunker there in front, and once again, wind conditions. This is going to probably require one of the best tee shots, especially in the closing stages of US Open.
Frank, I think that's going to the bunker.
Looks like it.
Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That's a nice lag putt. Frank, what would you focus on a long putt?
That 3-foot circle, obviously you allow yourself a little bit more the further and further away you get, but just expectations, lower them a little bit. There's certain distances, just take 2.
This would be a good time to reverse the slide. 5 over par on the day. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walking golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department in your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Not his best shot, and now he'll have to deal with a bunker.
Yeah, they say the hardest shot in golf, the next one.
Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or 2.
Missed the fairway in the fairway bunker now.
It's not all gloom and doom, though. Lip isn't too high. A good swing here still shouldn't be a problem.
Frank, that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, there was no advantage to try and get any more out of that. Smart shot.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Frank, you want to finish with one good swing here, the approach shot to the 18th hole.
I don't think there's a flat putt on this green, Rich. There's so many different sections. We said the course was like a maze. This 18th green can be like a maze. If you're on the right portion, then obviously that certainly helps. But there's so many different levels to this green.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. Playing his third here at the par 5. Frank, where's this one headed?
Well, might just catch the left side of the green. Get on the dance floor, but it's going to be a long way away from the band.
This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. You feel like you have to make those, and they really sting when they miss.
Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever.
Getting set now over the putt. Be looking to turn the tide tomorrow after a round of 76. This for par. Just trying to keep this round on track. Has that putt, stays at 1 over. Well, Frank, this day had it all, didn't it?
It certainly did, Rich. It's always nice to play parkland golf where you play the ball through the air. But every now and again, when you get the opportunity to play a golf course like Chambers Bay and you get to see how the game was really invented, it can be played just as well along the ground as it can through the air. It's been fun.
Just a tremendous day here in the Great Northwest.